Hello, hello. Yeah, this is like one of my favourite songs from the original soundtrack. And I guess, unfortunately, we'll have to mute it. Didn't get much of it because we're already in the draft. Hello, boys and girls. To our game between Q and Logan. OG. Well, it is the DE remastered one. But yeah, it's the old songs. Logan with Ocean Ring as his first pick. Actually, I've seen Logan pick this a few times. I think he quite likes this map, and maybe just the hybrid maps in general. We've got Conti and Medi. As much water as we can get. Maybe inland or rivers gets chosen next. And Q normally likes to play quite aggressive, as we know that tried and true 18 villager rush. Let's see, Sahara is the pick. And what's Logan going to go for? Is he going to go for Citadel? It's been quite a common map in the tournament so far. I don't know if Logan himself... Oh, Inside Out, okay. I've not actually seen much Inside Out. I do quite like that map, but normally people seem to prefer Citadels, and for some reason people have been picking Dark Forest instead of Inside Out a lot of the time, and making what feels like should be long and drawn out games actually really fast. Oh, well, we do get Citadel as the last map as well. I'll just do the print screen. I know players are supposed to kind of do this, but I just want to get things going because we start a little bit slow. And we do have another match after this one, which, depending on how back and forth the series is, we might have a little bit of overlap, but we'll deal with that when the situation arises, if it arises. And just waiting for the players to join in the lobby. And Logan's in. Yeah, Q was a little bit late to the start of the game. Fortunately, we didn't have to wait too long. And just Q doing things in his own time, as per usual. We'll game eventually. Can I respond to my own? There we go. Is he in? No, not yet. Maybe I'll turn the music back on for a bit. We can listen to that again. A little wait for Q. I don't know what he's doing. Keep the music, just keep it going the whole time. Might have to turn it down a little bit, actually, it's quite loud. He was like asking what server to play on. I was like, dude, we need to pick your civs. So, what we saw in the last series is that we actually got double first pick Minoans when there was a lot of water maps in the mix, which I don't actually mind that. I can remember early in the tournament I sort of like scoffed at it a bit, but like I think at the moment Minoans is just so much better than every other civ on the water at the moment. That said, in the series between Midi-Yeti and oh my god, I've forgotten who it was that was playing already. My brain's just stopped working. Whatever this series earlier today, they both lost to the Minoans. Oh my god, who was it that played today? My brain just like abandoned me. Let's have a check. Mini A was played. I'll say my name, of course it was. And it is Minoans and Hittites by Logan. I'm not sure. I don't really like. And Calf. What is. I guess they're just rushing. Wow, okay. This is a very. Oh, I'll mute. What's that one? That song ended. So I don't mind the Yamato. I think there's quite good slots for them. Hittite does surprise me quite a bit though, and Shang's still not even picked yet. Chosen's surely Shang now. Have they just like not real? Okay, there we go. Latvia, yeah, can't. I mean, I don't know. This surprises me, man. I mean, Kira likes his very strong aggression, which Kaf is a very good aggressive civ. Persians. There's another, maybe for the water map as well. What have we got left? Sumer Egyptian. Babylonians. I like Babi for Inside Out. And they can be alright in Citadels as well. Assyrians. Not a huge fan of Syrians really, but some people have been still having some decent success with them. We do have Egyptians left still in the mix. Greeks is already picked up for Kyo, and Macedonians is the last pick. So I guess we got most of the civs we normally do, just in a very different order. I feel like Hittites, I think they're still a good civ, but I feel like you don't want to prioritise them as first pick. Yeah, it's a little bit unusual. Like I said, I don't mind the Minoans first pick when there's this many water maps. I've like changed my mind on that a little bit because like I think at the moment Shang and Latvia are both being considered like pretty equal in terms of power. So what's happened a lot is a lot of the time they just trade Shang and Latvia. But if you go Minnow first, your opponent can only pick one of Shang or Latvia, so that would give you the other one as your other pick. But they just throw that out the window here. 200% better civs for Kyo. I don't know. I like Yamato and Shang. Yamato, Shang, and Phoenicians here for Logan. I think Hittite. I do like Hittites. I just don't think you should have picked it this early in the draft. And then Chosen and Assyrian. I'm not as hot on those, to be fair. So you could argue maybe those are slightly weaker civs. Let me just refresh AOE2 Rex. Who's the number one player? Do you mean in this game or just RTR in general? Because I think, I mean, this game, I mean, Unrez is pretty strong. He's probably our most one of our most active players that's up there at the top. I think Tato is a very strong player, even though he doesn't really focus much on RTR. But yeah, I've been saying from the beginning, I think Tato and Unrez will be the showdown. I think, I mean, I could be proven wrong. I mean, we've got Cool as the number one seed for this tournament, and he's still a very good player, obviously, but Cool's not really been playing any RTR other than like the tournament games. And I think he maybe didn't have the strongest showing against, was it Morik he played against? Although I guess you could argue that Morik was actually playing pretty well and maybe like pushing him to the back limits. But I think Unrez was saying in his cast he felt that Cool had a little bit more in the tank. But we'll see. I mean, we're coming down to, let's see who's even left in the tournament at the moment. So we'll just, while we wait for them to get the server sorted out. So yeah, Cool and Morik 4-2. Morik made that a little bit difficult for Cool. Yeti played pretty good against Say My Name as well. Just lost out in that last game. Like I said, both players lost on the Minoans on the water maps, which seemed unlikely. But sometimes it's more about the actual gameplay than the civ itself. And then we've got Vertex, going to play either Tattoo or Nightmare. But well, you've got to imagine Tato's got a bit of an advantage there. No offense to Nightmare. Well, I'm just saying you're left in the tournament, Vertex. You're still up there. You're still potentially in the mix for the tournament. How do you feel about your chances, Vertex? Against Tato or Nightmare? You will win. You're feeling good. You just get those practice games in, man. You can still slap like the best of them. Have they got the lobby set up? Let me just double check. Show map leak. Okay, I'll show the maps. There you go. So like I said, we've got quite a few hybrid maps. Ocean Ring, Medi, and Conti. Not seen Billy yet today. But yeah, we've got Citadels and Inside Out, and then Sahara's the only really more open map. Obviously, we start with Highland. I thought you were your best mates, Bomber. So yeah, we've got Greeks. What's Kyo's Inside Out pick here? Is he going to try something crazy with Mace? Maybe I'm not sure. For the water maps, you got to think Persian, Minnow, maybe Carthon, Conti. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure where Mace gets used to. I mean, Unrestricted use Macedonians on the Citadels, and they do have the advantage of the cheaper siege, and with the they're just starting to decide what server they're on, I guess. So Babby, yeah, in fact, I guess Hittites you could use on Citadel, but I feel like you probably want to use that for one of the water maps, maybe Ocean Ring. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, I did not type that before. Very well. I can't type. Looks like they're pretty much as far away as they can get from each other. Like the best ping we could get is like 200 for both of the players. Some music with the picks. Yeah, maybe I'll just go back to the music a little bit while we just wait. They're just, like I said, just sorting out the server they're playing on. I don't remember this track. Oh no, I do. It's just that little intro bit threw me off. Do-boo-doo-boo-doo. We jamming. Yeah, it's taken us quite a long time to start this first game. The next series starts in just an hour. And we've got a minimum of 4 games here, because obviously it's a best of 7. So might have to get someone in to cast the next game if this overlaps. What was it? I think it's the same soundtrack in RTR as DE. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like it must be the same. I don't think they would have remade it again. Oh, they might have actually launched the game by now. Let's see. Sometimes my AOE2 Rex for some reason is just like really slow to load up. Oh, there we go, they've launched. They've now got a spectator on. Oh my man, everyone. This has just been a little series of blunders here. It's like, no, Logan isn't streaming. Hey, caramba, dudes, boys and girls. What are we doing here? At least we got the music, we're chilling. Can I use the direct link? Will that work for me? I think it won't, because spectator isn't enabled. Ooh. And Kyo's going to spot the elephants with the artifacts now. I mean, there's always guaranteed 2 in the middle. Where's this man going? He's off on a little trek. Like I said, I've got no idea what actually happened in the game before. I don't even actually know who won. But this is already a little bit unfortunate for Logan. Surely he's got to know it's there. Forward villager from Kyo nearly gets spotted by Logan's just random villager. Kyo's got 7 vills in queue still. 8 now. I feel like that probably needs to be cancelled, as that's 400 foods worth of vills. He's still clicking vills. And in fact, we're 33 seconds idle time for Logan already. So he's already a villager and a half behind. Painter is not quite in the right vicinity. That artifact did get captured there. So that's probably going to be a decent tip off to Kyo that Logan's sort of in that vicinity. And Logan finally finds that elephant, but I don't understand why he didn't search here. Or maybe this is this is the villager from before, isn't it? He does see the elephant now. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that one to you boys and girls. Deal the villager forward. 20 vil up for Kyo. A little unusual for Kyo. He's usually tried and true 18 vil. And it is going to be 20 vils up for Logan as well. But a minute more idle time. Does click now. But he's already an entire minute behind. Barracks goes up. And we do have the wood for a barracks now for Logan. Gazelle's in not the best spots. Does finally find the elephant, but he grabs the one. Club is already on the way out. And still no barracks for Logan. Be maybe nice to have like the barracks just clogging up that little gap there, perhaps. And the tool age already in. Club are just chilling for the time being. And small wall is the first tech clicked by Kyo. So he's playing slow and steady for this one. Leather armor coming in. Still only 2 clubs on the field. House goes down. Barracks does go in that position that I put out before. And these clubbers don't quite get seen there. And Axer upgrade coming in now for the 3 clubmen. He does actually have food. He stopped making vills. He does actually have food for the attack upgrade as well. Clubbers is kind of not in the right position though. He's still not 100% sure where... There we go. He finally finds Logan now. Archery range... Oh no, second barracks actually. I guess... that kind of... He's already going for slingers. Preempting some bows, which he has built an archery range back at home. Axes are in though, as that house didn't go up quite quick enough. And the armor upgrade is in. So this is already going to be pretty problems for Logan. Slinger's not really going to do anything against the axes. And this is already going to be struggle town for for Logan, sorry. One villager goes down, 2 villagers go down. Clubbers are coming out now, but no upgrades on the clubbers at all. Just going to be wasted resources. And this looks like it's going to be a pretty quick one, perhaps. Going back on its villagers. And yeah, just too much. I mean, the idle time is the same now, but that minute earlier, tool age. It's just a bit too much of a gap in 1v1s. I mean, Logan is going for the walls, but he has axes in his base. And it's probably only going to be out time before this next run of axes come in. Still doesn't have the tool working, does Kyo. So that's a little bit odd. This one axer just kind of beating down these clubbers though. They do have the armor in now, but obviously still, yeah, no real match. And that's a very, very quick 1-0. Much quicker than the game before, which unfortunately I guess we'll never see. And I guess hopefully Kyo did win the game before, I guess, is all I can say. If Logan won the game before and lost this one, I think he's going to be a little bit miffed about that. Especially when you could argue it was Kyo's mistake for the lobby. Though hopefully that isn't the case. And we'll get us straight back to the draft. I'm just going to restart my capture age because it's doing the stupid bug again. So that was a pretty quick one in the end. And let me just, sorry, I'm just trying to read messages. And okay, so what do we have there? We have the Latviat winning out pretty convincingly against the Chosen. And Logan tried to mix it up there, but it was just way too slow to the tool age. Biggest boon for the Chosen is if you getting that tool and getting those cheaper storage pit techs and the more health on the axes and get those in quickly. But just still one of the biggest problems with the Chosen is they don't actually have any eco bonus in the early game. So Latviat normally much stronger at getting to that tool age, or quicker I should say. But I think a minute, I guess there was a big, he just took sort of too long trying to find those elephants in the middle. Had a lot of effectively idle villager time. And I just missed those ones. I forgot to link the civs as well. Let me try. Just capture this so they can see what civs they've got. There we go. So yeah, after all that, it was a very quick game 1, and hopefully get us into game 2. I think they're just Logan's just choosing what map he wants to play on, and hopefully we'll get us into the game pretty sharpish. I'm hoping not all the games are that quick, although that would let us stream the next game. The other players potentially might be playing early. They're just discussing. So I think someone else is going to have to stream that one. Unless I can try and do the juggle and try and do the double cast. Yeah, he was just up way too slow to the tool age. It was 1 minute after. And yeah, one minute slower than Kyo. And Kyo was barracks. He didn't quite find Logan straight away, but he found like he had so much time to find him that like even though he didn't find him straight away, it didn't really matter. Let's have a look. And Ocean Ring is going to be the next map. So Kyo does have the Minoans here, but it'll be interesting to see whether or not he picks maybe the Persians or Greeks and saves Minnow for Mediterranean, or if he just plays the Minnows down now. And Logan, I think I'd probably... I mean, he picked Ocean Ring first and he's picked Hittite first. So maybe that is his Ocean Ring pick. The +1 range on the Hittite, well, it's been nerfed from +2 to +1 in the Tool Age now. Still pretty powerful on that Ocean Ring map where you can get like the choke points around the edge. You sort of can't see, he's got like the little choke points around the edge. Can potentially get a bit more advantage out of that extra range if you micro correctly. Galileo. I'm not familiar with the Galileo. He must be an older member in the community. And off we go. Okay, so it is the Hittites for Logan, and it is the Greeks for... where is my capturation? There it is. And it's the Greeks for Kyo. So we didn't decide to pick the Minoans here. Save that for potentially like Mediterranean, like I said. And it seems we're a little bit behind here. That's kind of odd. I was trying to refresh AOE2 Rex constantly, but I guess it just takes a while to update itself. And Doc going up for both players, actually. And I guess he's going to try and Logan's going to try and maybe put another dock here to get the block going and just house wall in between in the early game. Does set a couple of villagers to go fishing. Kyo, meanwhile, is just sort of docked, I guess, just in the vicinity of where his shore fish is. He's not really that bothered about covering the front. In fact, he's not even scouted his front yet. And Logan... Okay, I thought he was going to use that ship to just do some early scouting for a second there, but he just sends it to the deep water fish. Rip hit. I mean, I think Hittites still have some chances here, but Greeks can also be solid too. I think this probably is one of the better maps where Greeks can make effective use of that bonus though, a bit like the Hittites. Like I said, just having the chokes make those bonuses a bit more important. That's interesting. Second dot goes down over here, I guess just because he wanted it close to the fish. Like I was speculating the second dock here just to stop like units from being able to get between the gap there. And maybe that's where the third dock spot. And there is some fish there actually as well, so I am a little bit surprised about that. Let's have a look-see. Just Gazelle being gathered for the time being. Nobody gone onto the berries yet, which is pretty... Actually, no, a little berry being collected. A little short distant berry gathering by Logan here. And it looks like 21 vills. Logan stopped making vills. Both players have about 40 seconds idle TC time as they switch on to the fish eco. But both players playing reasonably good. In fact, Kyo's got like no food at all. Oh, it's because he's doing his massive stack again. But Logan's hit clicked a lot quicker. I guess he just got that fishing eco up a lot sooner. And Kyo's actually housed. There we go. Gets another building down now. But yeah, Kyo's a long way from able to... I mean, he's, again, 7 villas, so actually not as far. So he's actually got 400 food in bank, so... I thought it was like, I was like, why is he so far away? It's because he keeps, for some reason, keeps adding 1 million villagers to queue. But about the same idle time. But Logan obviously clicking much sooner. And I think Kyo needs to cancel some of these villagers. So yeah, he has the food to go up now. 10 fishing ships. And it's going to have to see if Logan can capitalise on this. And the Hittites, like I said, with the extra range, are one of the best if you can get the scout ships in early for ranging like your wood lines and stuff like that. Obviously not quite as powerful as they were before the last patch. Barracks goes up. And it looks like it's going to be the water play because he can't actually do anything else yet because he didn't finish the barracks. And he's just gone the granary. Only a couple of scout ships for now, but he's got quite a lot of time before Kyo hits the tool age hit. Yeah, 1,000 vil. Yeah, I mean, he's still 25 and 14. The thing is like these scout ships. All it takes is 2 or 3 scout ships, and like all that's gone instantly. Excuse me, because Kyo's not going to have the time to get his own scout ships out in defence. Oh, that's unfortunate. He sends it the wrong way round. Oh, it's got 1 going this way, which obviously, without any defence, would be eventually able to kill it, but like probably not going to get a huge amount of damage. And Kyo's going. Looks like he's just sending out a scout ship. Maybe needs to shift all this over to the other side of the island. Maybe build another dock over there. 1 fishing ship does go down. 3 scout ships instant in queue. And Logan's... Oh, he's gone fast bronze. I wasn't so... He didn't commit to the water. And now... Yeah, he's just still scouting. And so this... Yeah, so this scout ship's not really going to do much damage. I guess it might kill 1 more. I think it probably would have been worth like trying to suicide kill him. I guess maybe he just needs to defend himself actually until bronze comes in. So maybe that is the wiser decision in hindsight. He only has 3 scout ships out, and one of them is this one all the way over here. And could have been potentially be a bit annoying by the time it gets around, but Kyo actually going to be on the aggressive at this point. Woodworking coming in for both players. But yeah, so this could be bad for Logan, because if you can't get the scout ship numbers up, then being in the Bronze Age isn't going to give him any immediate advantage in terms of being on the water. Obviously, you can maybe try and get some more TCs and stuff down. But yeah, he could potentially lose all of his fishing ships here, though. So maybe a little bit greedy by Logan here. And this scout ship does finally come round here. It's kind of not really doing much, just chilling at the time. Yeah, I mean, if they want to start Jesse, I guess that's up to them. I guess just let them know if there isn't anywhere around to cast. So, like, I'll try and cast the games if the series ends. This series ends and they're still going. But I can only really cast 1 at a time. Kyo's still doing a lot of damage here, though. Like I said, War Galley is coming in, but there's only 3 scout ships on the field. 2 of them are here. Probably going to get picked off. Don't know where the other one is. It's over here at the moment. Kyo is on the way up now. Yeah, 8 scout ships to only 3 at the moment. And I don't think... I'm pretty sure War Galley... I guess the Hittites do have +2 range now after hitting the bronze. But I don't know if this is going to be enough. I guess he's only got 4 ships hit at the time being. Reinforcements are a little bit slow to come in. So Logan does hold for the time being. So potentially greedy play from Logan kind of working out. But that said, Kyo's had his much stronger eco working this entire time with like a handful more fishing boats. See a little bit of a fight here. Logan maybe coming in a little bit too quick. He's going to want to try and get as much damage in as he can before the War Galley upgrade comes in, though. So we've got 6 ships here. And with the Hittite bonus, I think Logan could kite this out. And looks like Kyo's falling back to wait for the upgrades to come in. Artisan ship and War Galley. Artisan ship already coming in for Logan. And he's going to have the +2 range now, like I said. Hittite's going to be much stronger now. The Greek speed bonus, obviously just a flat bonus, it doesn't improve, so all this fish is going to be under threat. So Kyo's going to have to respond here. Only 5 ships though. At the time being, 6 now. 5 seconds on the war galley. Kyo trying to press the issue. Upgrade comes in. Big numbers advantage for Logan. For Kyo. Jeez, I keep mixing up the name. Sorry. But yeah, Logan trying to use that Hittite range advantage to kite. Like I said, +4 to just the +2 of the regular Civ. Got 10 ships to 14 now. And look, maybe running out of room a little bit. He's going to have to move the fish ships back. A lot of damage spread out, but he's just not getting the specific targets he needs at the moment. And I think Logan, yeah, he's going to turn. I think I was going to say he's going to turn it around just because there's so many damaged ships, but you can see the health bars there. Maximum health is actually higher for Kyo at the moment. Reinforcements will come in faster, obviously, for Logan. Now he's all the way back here. But 10 ships to 10 is the count. And wheel finally coming in for Kyo. I don't think we've... No extra TCs added. Both players still just like on their home islands, and Kyo is in fact completely open. Actually does move out a little bit for the wood here, as the wood on his first island sort of running out. He's doing reasonable distance for the wood. A little bit inefficient. And is this the town centre? Yes, it is. As I missed the government centre going up, but it must have gone up somewhere. There it is at the back. And is this a government centre? Yes, it is for Logan. And he's having to delete his wall to get his vills out. He's going to have to delete a house as well. Any moment now. As he rebuilds some more houses, so maybe not. And fishing ship upgrade as well in for Kyo. Let's have a look. So yeah, still a decent eco lead. I was going to show you the statistics for the eco, but it looks like we're going to see maybe an engage on the water. That's the patrol move in for Logan. The other thing is, like, you get the much bigger line of sight on the war galleys with that +2 range. And again, Logan, sorry, using that range to his advantage. It's going to be very difficult for Kyo to push this now. This might be a case of that maybe he needs to try and make 2 stacks and try and like work his way around the other way to try and negate some of that extra advantage. But yeah, it's going to be very tough to play into those Hittite war galleys now that the number's up 23 to 21. Like I said though, decent eco advantage, and I will have a look at those stats now. So you can see 1800 resource advantage for Kyo at this point. And also he's got the Greek boom, the faster working TCs, another engage though. But again, Logan just kiting nicely backwards, taking minimal damage here. Kyo's still pushing into this, but you can see the HP advantage. Basically double the count. Kyo forced back. I mean, Kyo like has the resources to keep pumping though. You can see he's pumping from 5 docks at the moment. He has 7 docks total. And he is on 3 TCs as well now. And in fact, as I say that, 3 TCs up for Logan. Does have a little bit more food in the bank, does Logan. Only 26 vills. I guess that's, yeah, fishing ships as well. This dock's going to go down for Kyo. Watchtower upgrade comes in. So, ooh, okay, Watchtower is actually already out from Kyo, sorry. Maybe just sending the villagers to fight the villagers here would have been the correct play to try and stop this going up. Chariot Archer's going to be a nuisance though, but I think this tower is going to go up. Villagers a little bit late to trying to do this. Okay, there we go. Disruption. I think the tower's still going to go up though. Like I said, maybe should have got the villagers involved a little bit earlier on that. 2 response Watchtowers going to come down though. Maybe fight in the water. Here we go. Numbers advantage for Kyo, but again, if Logan kites this out nicely, he should still have the advantage. Looks like he just doesn't want to take the fight, as he's maybe focusing here for the time being. And so sort of going off Chariot Archers, and it's the cavalry actually coming in for Kyo, although it's just the single cavalry unit. And yeah, the numbers advantage as Logan's focusing elsewhere. So just the numbers advantage for Kyo winning out now. And like, yeah, Logan just had some of his ships just patrolling there, just out of range. And yeah, a little bit of a... Yeah, I don't know exactly what Logan was paying attention to in that specific moment, but he's lost out quite significantly on the water here. Although saying that, Kyo's sort of doing... returning the favour here. I think he still has numbers. Yeah, still double the numbers. It's deceiving the number of ships there. They're, yeah, like sort of stacked on top of each other. I mean, maybe it is worth just trying to get Sentry Tower in ASAP as well, to just help defend. But yeah, down to 8 war galleys now for Logan. Like I said, he's not really utilising the bonus now, just sitting under the tower. And there we go, more cavalry coming in. Bronze Shield, I'm not exactly sure what Bronze Shield's for here. Maybe he's going to swap into the hoplites for the Greeks in a moment. I guess maybe some academies are going up. There is a single academy there, so that would make sense. And yeah, the amount of HP an individual war galley's got, 160. Doesn't really mind about sitting underneath that watchtower. Yeah, I don't know if the Sentry Tower would have changed this situation, but it definitely would have helped, and now it's coming in now, a little bit too late. And Logan's lost complete control of the water now. His tower's in fact just going to go down. And now with the cavalry in on the land, and no real units on the land either, Sentry Tower does come in now. Like I said, maybe a little bit too late. Hoplites are about to be starting to be spammed by the Greeks. And I think, unfortunately, when Logan lost all of his ships here, like I said, I don't 100% know what he was paying attention to, because I think he'd sort of sorted himself out on the land. But yeah, most of his eco is now in this area here, and it's pretty exposed to the cavalry raids. Sentry towers are going to slow us down a bit, but I don't exactly know why Kyo isn't, I was going to say, just going all in the hoplites, but Logan taps out, I think probably wisely so. I think the game, as soon as he lost all those ships there, it was going to be very difficult for him to come back. And yeah, I mean, Logan had his chances there. He got to the Bronze Age pretty nicely and didn't get punished that much, but Kyo just had pretty nice eco built up behind it and didn't really need to massively push. And then you just see, like I said, that was just that moment in the water there. What was it, about here? A little bit after that, where Logan just sort of caught napping maybe a little bit. Don't exactly know. See, it's around here, isn't it? I guess he's like focusing here maybe, and he just sort of like idles the units. I don't know if it's just like the bunching, because you can see that like there's sort of the weird bunching of the ships there. Maybe that like Logan, I don't know though, because like, yeah, these ships are just patrolling here. But again, I don't really know where he was focusing there, because not much else was really happening at that moment. Just trying to figure it out, trying to do detective work. Yeah, maybe we're just focusing, trying to sort this tower out and then punishing these villagers. And that was just the moment disaster struck. And that was the end of the game. So, on we go to the next one. As I will take us back to the draft. So we had a little Greek win against the Hittites, and the Hittites were Logan's first pick. So you've got to imagine he's probably not feeling too great about that one. Again, like I said, I don't mind the Hittites pick. I just don't think it's worth a first pick, is my personal opinion. And it's not worked out for Logan here in this game, unfortunately. And that, like I said, 2-0 advantage to Kyo. And we'll see if Logan can bring it back on the maps. Let's have a look. So he's got Mediterranean inside out. I mean, Mediterranean, Kyo has Minoans. So do you argue that you don't even pick Medi at this point? Maybe just go straight to inside out. probably pick Babylonians there. And Kyo's used the Greeks now, actually. So maybe even take it to citadels. And I guess like Macedonians can be good on citadels with those cheaper stone throwers. And the quite nice hoplites as well. Pretty nice combination in the Bronze Age, regardless of whether or not Macedonians don't have an eco. Well, they just don't have an eco bonus. I don't know why I was saying it like that. They just don't. They do have some quite nice units later in the game, though. And I'm just going to keep refreshing my AOE2 Rex, and it is going to be Mediterranean. And the civs are Minnow and Yamate, perhaps not surprisingly. I think if I was Logan, I probably would have tried to avoid Mediterranean for the rest of the Have I quit? Not quit out. I've not quit out. Classic. We try again. Yeah, I was going to say I'd probably try and avoid playing Mediterranean into the Minoans for as long as possible. Got to imagine he's going to be a reasonable disadvantage here. That said, Minoans lost twice earlier today on water maps. Storage pit up on near the fish for Logan. And just on the berries for Kyo. So it's going to be a little, excuse me, little eco advantage for Logan there early on. But as I've said before, this can leave your villagers quite vulnerable if you do lose control of the water. Is the biggest problem with this. Although, presumably by that time you would have taken the fish and you can just re-storage pit somewhere else. But I've seen in many a game on Mediterranean where a wood line gets decimated by some scout ships pretty early on. No crossing over here, so it's just the full terrain crossing here, no shallows on this map. Little funky peninsula there. That's interesting. I wonder if you could actually get that deep water fish with a villager there. I think you probably could. Don't normally get that. A little rarity. Doesn't really matter, but I just thought it was interesting. Storage pit on the wood line, so he doesn't try to find like the fish spot. And he's got quite 8 villagers on wood. Obviously wants to try and get a dock up pretty soon. Dock is up first, and then a little sticky out point for Logan here, which is actually quite nice because it does get you those deep water fish as well. As well as having the foreshore fish there. Nice, very nice. And we'll see how greedy the players are, how quick they are with their tool ages. Neither of these civs have Stone Age bonus. I don't know what am I saying, they've got cheaper docks for minnows and cheaper ships, so minnows should have the advantage here. So scrap that. Scrap what I just said, pretend I didn't say that. Got confused for a second there. And so yeah, Kyo could have actually gone for a way earlier dock, thinking about it. But I guess yeah, he's just going to go for the double dock now. And neither player really anywhere near going to tool, so both players playing pretty greedy. 30 seconds idle time for Logan. It's going to put him a villager and a half behind at this point. Creeping up a bit again, so that's basically 2 vills. He is getting those fishing boats out a little bit quicker though, so the eco unit count is the same for the time being. But you've got to imagine with the cheaper docks and cheaper fishing ships for the minnows, that's probably going to get overtaken pretty quick. Yeah, well, I think it's like you said in the last series, right? When people go minnows, they just feel like they have to go greedy. But Logan doing the same thing. In fact, I've completely forgotten that the Yamato get the faster working fishing ships, so Yamato do actually have a Stone Age bonus. And this one's just chilling here. Probably want to get that dude doing some stuff. And Tool Age does come in now for Logan. So I guess not massively greedy. Does have a minute of idle time to get that off, but it does mean he's going to be to the Tool Age much faster than Kyo. And Kyo on 26 vills. And again, it'll be interesting to see if Logan does go for the... It looks like he's just going to go fast bronze again, though. Possibly. I don't know, it depends. Like last time he aged up earlier and just didn't push that advantage as much. In the tool age, I mean. He only built like 2 or 3 scout ships and then just went straight to the bronze. But here, you've got to feel like some damage is going to need to be done by Logan. It is just the 2 scout ships for the time being, though. And there isn't any... I don't see a barracks out from Logan yet. So, bronze is not on the... I mean, he has the resources. He just hasn't built the barracks yet. So, a little bit awkward. Looks like he's... Yeah, granary. Don't know what he's going to do with all this food. Feels like a little bit mismanagement of the eco here. Because he's pretty squeezed for... He's going clubbers. Oh my god, I didn't even see this. Forward barracks from Logan. And he is on the fish now, as Kyo only just hits the tool age. So I was expecting aggression on the sea. In fact, Logan's decided to take advantage of that cheaper archery range bonus from the Yamato, try and push on land. And this could hit pretty hard here, as Kyo's fully committed to the water for the time being. Still has the resources in bank for food. So it could just be... I don't mean, does it go all in? I feel like you just do go all in, right? House wall is going to slow this down. I don't know if those houses saw... I don't think they saw the clubs. And this is going to be an interesting game now. Axes does come in. There's only 2 axes out the time being. And this is going to give Q enough time to react. And probably enough time to take control of the water now. You can see he's pumping for 4 docks at the moment. Minoan bonus. Obviously massively working out in favour. Yamato's obviously have the high HP ships, but it looks like Q is just toying with Logan here. As he's probably not paying attention. And the axes numbers not quite high enough to punch the hole quick enough. Archer, Bowman is trying to pick off the vills, but yeah, small wall comes in behind. And it's a nice try from Logan here, but I think this is unfortunately a backfire. He does still have the food to try and go to the next stage, but he's lost the water now. And you've got to think he's never going to get that back against the Minnow, so he loses all his fish eco. Like I said, he does have food in bank, just doesn't have the wood for the second building. Archery range coming out in response now as well from Kyo. The houses are paper, but a couple of houses laid on top of each other just gave Kyo that big enough cushion to be able to react to that. And yeah, Logan, I mean, he tried to be a bit more aggressive, but like this, maybe the barracks was just a little bit too slow if that strategy was going to come out. And yeah, Kyo had just already preemptively house walled. I guess maybe, did he scout the crossing? I mean, if he was just open on this side, he was like fully open here. So maybe you've got to argue that Kyo got a little bit lucky in that respect. That if this was over here and it was the other way around, then Logan would have obviously gone the other way around. I mean, there is ways of figuring out where the crossing is. Like, maybe just like, if you right-click a villager here and it starts going to the right, then you know there isn't a crossing on that side. Still a decent amount of army on the land, but and again, Bronze Age as well in for Logan. But pretty huge eco lead now with the 15 ships. And yeah, all of the fishing eco for Logan at the bottom of the lake. And I mean, Logan still has this little amount of army, but he's not trying to push anymore with it. Storage pit goes on to gold as Kyo also advances to the Bronze Age, not even that far behind either. plenty of wood in the bag. Maybe just switch onto the farms now, as he's probably not going to need to build many more ships. Although saying that, Logan's trying to make an attempt at getting back on the water, but it's always very, very difficult once you lose control. And yeah, 1k wooden bank. So yeah, maybe just needs to swap onto the farms a little bit. Excuse me, as I hiccup. And yeah, Q's already like spotted the new docks. And I think, unfortunately, yeah, this just didn't work out for Logan. Those house walls, just enough to give Q the chance to react on the land, and then Logan hadn't committed enough on the water. And yeah, I guess he's got 3. How many is it? 4, 5. But like, if he focuses down this dock, the war galley upgrade's not going to be in before the dock goes down. Looks like he's attacking this dock with a couple of ships, which is a little bit awkward. But I think this still goes down before the war galley upgrade comes in. And war galley only very marginally behind. Fishing ship upgrade, wheel upgrade. And Ko is losing a few units here. A little bit sloppy, but stable going down. Golden Bank, camels coming out. I think this isn't really going to matter. I don't think this is really going to do much at this point. Slingers are still being made. And then, oh, it looks like Kyo just was not paying attention at all here. Oh no, wait, I'm completely confused. Sorry, it's the other way around. So yeah, all those ships did die from Logan. I got confused with the colours there. Sorry about that. And yeah, all these docks just going to go down. And yeah, he had so much wood still in bank, and yeah, you can see it pumping out, and GG gets called. And it's always tough to play into the Minoans on the water maps, and yeah, like Logan did give it a try, but again, if we go back, where was it, about here, I guess? Yeah, back's just coming up now, and like obviously Logan's been tool age for a little while, and Kyo isn't a million miles off. Like I said, though, it's kind of fortunate that Kyo's map allowed him to just wall up with the houses like this, and that like the point he tried to go for was just like this choke hit. Again, like if it was the other way around, but then maybe, like I said, maybe Kyo did figure out that this is where the crossing wasn't. Well, this is where the crossing is. It's probably a better way of saying that. And yeah, so this just didn't do anything in the end. And like I said, at this point, Kyo's pumping from 4 docks, and it wasn't long for him to. Didn't take him long to catch up with Logan's ship numbers. Excuse me, just a little sneeze there as I muted myself. And in the end, yeah, it felt kind of inevitable at the point that never broke through, and those walls came up behind. So, there we go. On to game 4. And back to the draft. I'll just quickly close Capture Age because it's doing the bug again. Yeah, maybe Vietnamese quarterfinals on that side of the bracket. Vietnamese players very strong in RTR, as we all know. So Minoan's #1 pick for Q does pull it out against Logan. And again, I think I've got a question, just this first pick of Hittite. I've pointed it out so many times, but like, I feel like if you're gonna go for that like water sieve, Minnows is the number one pick there. But maybe Logan doesn't know about the nerfs to the Hittite. I don't know. And Yamato Greek. Yamto. And they do have the lobby set up, but they've still got the map set to Mediterranean, which you cannot be. So, I guess, presumably, we're going to see Inside Out as Logan's last map. Again, you don't have to pick your own map if you don't want to, but most of the time players do. Again, I think I would have tried to avoid Mediterranean if I was Logan. And I guess for hideout, not hideout, sorry, for inside out, it's going to be Babylonians. And then, what would, I mean, maybe Romans for Kyo. You can do some tower shenanigans on inside out. Roman's pretty good for that. And, yeah, I'm not sure. Guess he's still got Karth. Would you pick Karth on inside out? It doesn't feel like an inside out civ to me. But maybe they've got different ideas. And I'll just refresh Capture Age again. And it is indeed inside out. And I will get us onto the game. So this is match point now. As I scratch my head. And get us into the fourth game. So, as I've said before, winning this game puts you into the money. Top 8 get payout in this tournament. I think the 5 to 8 is not a huge amount of money, but it's enough to buy a couple of rounds at the pub. And I've not even focused it. So it is actually Romans from Kyo. There we go. So it'll be interesting to see if we do see some like tower pushing. Of course, Babylonians have pretty strong towers themselves. But I think in the earlier game, just having the cheaper towers for Romans is a bit stronger than a bonus than the extra HP for the Babylonian towers. Obviously, the Babylonians get the faster working stone miners as well. And so, yep, berries at the back for both players. So that's a bit more, I guess, a fairer map. Like, I can't remember which game it was, but there was an inside map where someone had both of their berries forward, and the other guy had them both back. And I think part of that cost him. I can't remember who the game was, but the guy that whoever had their forward berries ended up losing the game. Which means you basically have to go to your farmers a lot earlier, because if you do have those forward berries, it's obviously a lot more risky to go out into the middle to try and contest them. Whereas at the back, people don't normally go around the outside ring and inside out until like Bronze Age, when they can maybe get some cavalry or camel units, or maybe some chariot archers, something like that, something with a bit more mobility. I guess you could go scouts and send scouts out. But normally, because scouts are a little bit slower to hit the field, that gives you enough time to like try and get up a small wall behind that. Unless you manage to get to the tool age much faster than your opponent, which has happened a couple of the games in the series so far. And we'll have a look at the idle time. It's still fairly low for both players, but 8 seconds for Kyo. That feels like he maybe just forgot to click for his 5th villager after his 200 initial food got used up. And elephant gets pulled in. Yeah, he's already taken it. I was going to say, I guess he's taken it, but the other elephant's literally right there in front of my face. And Gazelle gets killed next to the storage pit. The storage pit would have been quite nice, actually, where the Gazelle was. Or are. I guess they are technically still there. They're just no longer alive, sadly. And Kyo's going to go for the little Gazelle push instead, as his are a bit more out in the open. Unfortunately, did kill this one here. Happens to the best of us. And it'll be interesting to see. Okay, Logan going 20 vills up. I was going to say if anyone does go for some early shenanigans. So possibly, maybe we see some slingers from Logan. Only 23 seconds idle time this time as well. So it's going to be pretty nice tool time. As Kyo goes for the 23 vil click. Which is 24 vils. He's going to have to wait for this last vil to come out. So he is going to be... what's it going to be? Like, yeah, a minute, because he's got no idle time basically. So it's basically a minute idle. Minute behind, sorry, on the tool. And you have to imagine it's just going to be fast. Oh, he's got a double storage pit. Interesting. So that's gonna... I mean, it does give you more efficient wood gathering in the long run, but obviously it does pinch you for resources in the short term. And he hasn't built a barracks yet. He does have a barracks now. And so it looks like he's... I don't think he's going to have... Is he going to have resources for the fast bronze? Maybe he will. As Logan does hit, and the slingers are in. Double barracks out. Maybe you could argue his barracks should have been a little bit further forward if he was going to go for this. Just to give you that slightly shorter distance. And slingers, even if they do punch forward, maybe on this map they're not quite as effective on Citadel, just because like you can just like run out the back and you've still got resources out here. Whereas on Citadel you're often just stuck in your base if the slingers get in. A third storage pit goes up for Kyo though. Stable and a market, so it is going to be a fast bronze, and I guess maybe just having that extra villager, and I guess the eco bonus of the cheaper buildings for the Romans means you can get it. The slingers only just coming in now, and we're fully committed to the slings. We're running out of stone actually. Did he get... I feel like he must have got stone mining in, as I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, he does. And Kyo's already clicked bronze. So, and scouts coming out to try and defend. Singular scout probably not going to do too much against 6 slingers that already have stone mining though. And now it's just going to be a race between the Bronze Age type and how much damage Logan can do. And this, I mean, it could end up being a pretty quick series. Like I said, 4 games in 1 hour. And I think the other series may have actually started. I'm not 100% sure. Between Tato and Nightmare. They were talking about potentially playing earlier. I don't know if someone else is actually streaming that. I've not checked Discord. Oh, he stopped attacking! What? Oh, that's valuable seconds. I don't exactly know what that was. And house walls are up. And Bronze Age about to be in. 2 scouts in defence. Not a huge amount of gold in the stockpile, but enough to put out a couple of cavalry, just for the time being. And, I mean, this is going to get... Logan is going to get in here. How many? 12 slingers. Like I said, 2 scouts isn't going to do anything here. These slingers need to get damage in now, though. But like I said, you can just run the villagers out the back, and that is what Kyo is doing. He's got that gold mine out there. And 2 cavalry in now. I don't know, does he have any? He doesn't have any upgrades. Obviously the defense upgrade obviously is meaningless here. The tool working will be good. And I think, unfortunately, I mean, we've got the bows actually coming in, but 0 damage done to the eco here. And oh, I don't know, it's looking rough. I mean, I guess there's only 1 cavalry in queue still, and he still has a reasonable number of slingers left, so maybe I'm counting Logan out a little bit too early. Let's have 32 villas in behind. Cavalry goes on a wonder, maybe just cut off the reinforcements. Oh, Axeman comes out. Maybe just try to deal with the cavalry a bit more. Okay. So we don't actually have much in the bank for Kyo. He does go up the berries here though, so he does get food. He could go back up again. Like I said, again, I think you can just sort of chill outside here. But 1 villager killing now, it's just that. He sees a few villagers here. It's just whether or not Logan should, like I said, get the damage in. 10 villager lead for Logan, but obviously still in the tool age. And still just pumping slingers and axes. 3 cavalry now is going to be very difficult for Logan. to deal with. And I think you probably got to think, yeah, it's just going to get swept up. And does it just take Logan too long to get to the Bronze Age now? The attack gets dealt with. Only 2 villager kills. Quite a lot of idle time, you've got to argue though. Like I said, 10 villagers behind, but obviously Logan's still not even clicked bronze, so that's worth a few villagers by itself. And 3 TCs. Doesn't quite have the eco yet for this for like a full boom to go. But yeah, cavalry's going to catch out most of these units. And he's still pumping tool age units, but I think unfortunately this might be another game in Kyo's favour. Obviously, Kyo needs to actually batter down the walls and get it himself, but all it really takes is maybe like Siege Workshop forward. Start hammering down the walls. He's still just focusing. I guess he just, like I said, doesn't have many resources in bank. It'll be interesting to see if Logan has the more eco resources gathered. Yeah, he does by quite a margin. But obviously a lot of that's been spent on units. And yeah, 26-7 in the KD, obviously because most of Kyo's units would be in the cavalry and just a couple of scouts. To send the axes out here. And axes, the bonus damage still does apply to the cavalry, so if you do have a decent number of them, they can still be reasonably effective. Tool working only just coming in now though. Wheel coming in now for Kyo. Still doesn't quite have the eco set up to really take advantage of all these town centres, although as I say that, the pump is starting to go. Walls back up though. Kyo cleverly stops any potential aggression. And I think Kyo can just kind of, I mean, he says he's behind 300 points here, but this is probably one of the situations where the score, I guess maybe that's just partly to do with exploration a little bit. Ooh, actually saying that, a couple of axes do get on the berries. And this one axe push has done more damage than the slingers did. So, in fact, 5 villager kills there. Kyo doesn't seem to have noticed that. And he's broken in on the front as well. So maybe Logan's still got life in him yet. Bronze Age has been clicked. Only house walls, so this isn't going to take him long to get through. Still only 4 cavalry as broadswords trying to be teched into. See the Romans with a much faster attacking sword units. Quick houses, I guess, behind. So the game's still in the balance. Swordsman in. Short swordsman in coming out now. I mean, if Logan had added more bows here instead of slingers, that would actually been pretty good for him. Except the axes can still do some decent damage to the cavalry here. Can they block them in here? That'd be pretty good. Oh, it doesn't quite manage to pick off that one. The cavalry does run away. Bows are going to maybe pick off. Singular bow defense coming in big. 12 eco kills now though. These axes still just chilling out the back here. Does he get another villager kill? It's a little bit difficult once Will's in. Okay, that finally gets dealt with. But those axes got in about 8 kills. And Logan in the tool age, Bronze Age now. Got quite a few resources in hand. Maybe a bit too much wood. Can maybe sell that at the market or just try and whack down as many farms as possible. Still had some berries at the back there that he could have taken. And cavalry coming out now, which can deal with the broadswords if you can match the numbers. Because obviously the cavalry do have bonus damage against the infantry. It's just whether or not you can mass the infantry is the big question. How many upgrades do we have? Just the tool upgrade for now. And yeah, that's not what I meant to click. So Logan actually still in a pretty good position. He's behind, I mean, Kyo's on 1,000,000 TCs now is the thing. So again, Logan's going to be having to get some damage in. These broadswords are all going to get cleaned up though. Siege Workshop coming in for Logan now. And yeah, I get hoplites could be the answer potentially for Kyo. He's getting metal working, getting those Bronze Age techs in. I mean, I don't know about Zero chat. He's putting up a fight. I didn't think he'd have as much of a fight in him as he is doing. I think the main problem is here is just like the amount of TCs Kyo is on. But yeah, Kyo's not building any military. And I've seen Kyo lose games before where he just focuses all in on going the eco boom. I think it might have been in the game against Takeaway Restriction in the 2v2 game actually, on the Alliance, if my memory serves correctly. And they just, maybe it was a different team. Maybe it was against GL actually, I'm trying to think now. Maybe too far back in the memory. Domestication, but yeah, Stone Thrower coming in now. And Hoplite does come in. Babylonians, you could switch into the Chariot Archer. Do get the very nice Chariot Archer for the Babylonians, if he feels the need. And a lot of academies coming down now. But yeah, like I said, Logan putting up a much more of a fight than I thought he would. I think these literally just those two axes around the back there bought him a lot of time and gave him a bit more eco lead. I think it's probably still a slight eco lead for Logan. You've got to imagine that that's going to flip soon with the number of extra villages that Kyo has. In fact, that's a little bit weird of a TC placement. I guess if he gets a bunch of farms around it. I normally put that in the wood line myself. A couple of cavalry. Managed to get another eco kill. It is walled on this side now though. So I wonder if Kyo will actually wall up this side, but the attack is on the front for the time being. Do you see a temple? So it's actually going to be priests is going to be the order of the day to try and deal with the hoplites. Stone throwers can maybe get some damage on the slow moving targets. I don't know if Logan wants to go for this. I don't know if he's just trying to keep the unit still for the stone throwers. Maybe that's the idea here. Does get some good damage in, but loses the stone throwers because of it. And we're taking into composite bowman by the looks. I think maybe just Chariot Archer could have been alright, but I guess the composite bowmans do have the extra attack. And this tower is just going to get put down. Maybe this does cancel the improved bow, unless it finished. I'm not 100% sure actually. Oh yeah, it did finish because Compy's coming in now. I don't know if this is going to be a little bit too slow though. We have 16 hoplites already on the field, and it's only getting more. Bronze shield coming in as well. And it looks like the weight of Kyo's eco is finally bearing fruit here. And even when you get the compies on the field, it's just so much HP to break through. You need like about 25-30 compies to start like really seriously, like sort of just like being able to kite the hoplites efficiently. I mean, Kyo's normally the much more aggressive player, but he's played on the maps like Inside Out and Citadel. He does tend to sit back a bit more, I think. Compy mass 10 compies and his chariots being added in. Oh, that's just noble chariots. Interesting. Maybe to... Did he see the siege workshop? Is that why he's going that? I was going to say maybe just to try and snipe stone throwers there, but we didn't actually see that. Maybe just trying to preempt it. So 15 compies at the moment. I think Kyo actually has enough army to still push this, but maybe just waiting for that stone thrower support. And chariots. Ooh, let's not throw these away. Oh well, looks like we are throwing them away. It is what it is. Would have been quite nice to use those to take out the stone thrower. So a little bit sloppy from Logan there. And you can see the score now. An Iron Age coming in for Kyo. And yeah, this chariot so they can snipe the stone thrower here. That'd be good for Kyo, because at the moment he's having to dance around Try and not get his units annihilated. Few of the hoplites get in. Ooh, stone just about misses. Just like the stone thrower. So stone thrower here though. Could try and... There we go. And I think he has enough bows. There we go. But Iron Agent, like I said, and 122 villagers to 87. So like I said, I think that eco collection probably flipped, yeah, by a huge margin now. And ooh, just watch out for the stone throwers. Has to do quite a lot more damage now. Bigger blast radius. Compy's taking hits. Oh, it's going to be a massacre. Logan needs to wake up. Oh man, it's a bloodbath. Oh no, I think that might be it. Ooh, that's... Oh, he's just... I don't know, man. There's no micro. Oh dear. No micro from the bows. I mean, he does clear up the stone throwers, but he lost a lot of compies in the process. And catapult, longsword, iron shield. So going to switch back into the barracks units. I think the compies should be able to deal with this, I guess, when bronze iron shield comes in. And maybe if tower shield gets clicked straight away as well. Yeah, Kyo's got loads of resources, he's got plenty. Tower shield comes in, the compies are going to be very limited in their effectiveness. But Kyo he's not really getting the numbers up though. Again, just taking huge damage from the catapults though. And Iron Age just clicked for Logan. And there's that tower shield though. But yeah, like I said, Logan's managed to drag this into a much longer game than I thought it would be. So he's done pretty well so far. Stone throwers going to lose out to the catapult though. Again, it was literally just like these axes. These axes did so much damage on the side here, just barracks being spammed. I don't think I saw logistics come in yet. I feel like it must have done. And chariots, again, just a useful resource to try and snipe down those catapults. A lot more compies go splat before it, though. But yeah, I mean, Logan's holding pretty well here. It kind of feels like Kyo's just playing on the weight of his eco advantage here, and he's just sending units in. So I guess you can maybe argue Kyo could be controlling his military units a bit more wisely, perhaps, is the word. Because he's sort of leaving these catapults pretty vulnerable to the chariots. Iron Age is going to come in though, and the addition of alchemy is going to be quite useful. Let's try and... Ooh, fanaticism. You don't need to research that, Kyo. Oh, yeah. You don't need fanaticism for legionnaires anymore, my friend. So a bit of, I don't know how many resources this tech costs, so maybe it's not. I mean, it's more just the timing is the main thing. Is the main cost he's wasted there, I think, rather than the resources. But yeah, pretty big mistake by Kyo there getting that tech. He probably built a temple specifically for that as well, actually, because he's not done anything. He's not made any priests or anything. I might have to message Kyo, tell him that at the end of the game. Yeah, I think the time's the main thing. Like I said, the catapult numbers though, he's just managed to have like 3 or 4 on the field, and it just makes it really hard for the compies. He's trying to switch into horse archer now. I didn't see if alchemy came in. No, it didn't yet. Aristocracy. That feels like it must have been a misclick. I feel like this probably should be alchemy. And yeah, the longsword numbers are getting up there now. Legionary's nearly in. This feels like a misclick. And that's 4-0. But to be fair to Logan, he lost this game, but he put up a pretty good fight. Like when the slingers didn't really get much damage done, and Kyo got to the Bronze Age, I kind of thought it was already going to be over. But like I said, just those couple of axes on the side here can quite a lot of damage, and that put like Kyo on the limit for his eco. Stopped him from really booming up with those initial TCs, slowed that down a little bit. And yeah, Logan managing to get to the Bronze Age and make it a bit more interesting. Lost quite a lot of those compies in the middle to the Stone Throwers. I'm not sure how far back, maybe about here. Maybe this is a little bit... I can't remember exactly where it was in the timeline. But yeah, lost a lot of... Yeah, around here I think it was. I think in fact, I think this is not the only time, but yeah, you can just see how much damage... Oh man, the catapults can do. I think there was even in the... When Kyo was still in the Bronze Age, the Stone Throwers are still doing a lot of damage at various points. And yeah, hoplites always... On these more closed maps, the hoplites are always quite hard to deal with. Because like normally on most maps you can just outrun the hoplites, but you're sort of forced into the chokes. And right, yeah, 4-0 to Kyo. I'm going to now remind Kyo that he doesn't need fanaticism. I can't even remember how to spell it. There we go. Well played, Logan. That was quite nice. You put up quite a pretty good fight in that last game there. I was a bit worried when that the Slinger rush didn't do as much damage as I thought. But I was just saying to the people in the cast that like those little axes sneaking around the side there managed to get quite a lot of damage in. Made the game a little bit more interesting. And yeah, well played. Unfortunately, it was a 4-0, but there were still some quite entertaining games. Maybe that the first one on the Highlands was a little bit of a stomp, unfortunately, but the other ones had a bit more going on. And who is streaming? Is someone streaming the Tato game? Or do I need to get onto that? Oh, Jesse's streaming it, okay. Let me just... Does Jesse want to carry on streaming, or shall I take over from him? Maybe I could just send you guys to Jesse. I've got ads. Oh man, it looks like most of the series is already pretty donezo actually. So I think I will just host because I think the games probably won't last too much longer. Yeah, Babby does fall off a little bit in the Iron Age compared to some of the other civs. They're just like pretty nice in the Bronze Age. You've got quite a few less options. But anyway, I'm gonna raid Jesse. He's streaming the Tato versus Nightmare games. I think they're fairly far through the series by the looks of it. But I will send you on. And again, thank you everyone for waiting around through the novelty that was that first game that we didn't get to see. But I'll catch you guys on the next cast, and I'll see you guys later. And yeah, it will be after this last game between Tato and Nightmare. It was actually going to be the quarterfinals games and the top end of the tournament to be decided. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.